Hey, y'all. Welcome to episode 195. Today, we're going to talk about what the heck happened to my business. But before we make it all about me, as I kind of like to do, no, just kidding. I'm going to start this off, ladies, by asking about your business. How's your week been? What's going on in the world of reselling for Libby and Samantha?
I feel like Q4 is getting pretty close.
Why do you feel that way?
I have sales on multiple platforms.
Wow.
Like kind of steadily. Like it's a regular, even Facebook.
Seriously. Even Facebook's waking up. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All
Nice.
right.
All right. So I have to feel like my Q4 has started.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree, but I'm going to tell you what, I think our Q4 has started because we had that Listapalooza, and that really jumped us into overdrive, and our sales are all doing good, and everybody that participated, well, guess what? We're all Ship-a-Palooza now. So
That's true. My shipping manager is Ship-a-Palooza.
Right. Let's not get that twisted. Our shipping managers. Yes. I want to just say this. I sell car pots.
Yeah, you do.
I turned her to the dark side.
The dark side of car parts. Y'all, I've been listing car parts. Wait a minute. Do I have them here? I can even show you. There's a video that's coming out about how and when I got these.
You almost got them all listed. Good job.
All that's left is this little bit, but it was a ginormous bucket.
It was overflowing, you guys. Overflowing.
Of car pots, and I've been having so much fun listing them, and I swear every time I list them, a couple sell. So
oh my gosh, do you know every time I've heard you talk about the bucket of car parts, I'm picturing, and now it just occurred to me that it was not an actual bucket. Like I'm picturing a pail carrying them out. I swear to God, it just occurred to me right this second that you didn't mean an actual bucket. I thought a bucket with a handle, like there's a hole in the bucket. Dear Liza, kind of thing.
With like a bumper sticking out of it, like you can see.
Where is Diane Lasan when I need her? Because Diane agrees that's a bucket. That's a bucket.
It's a tote.
The whole time it's been in that tub, huh?
Yeah, in that bucket. Yep.
Gosh, I had this vision of you with the bucket of car parts coming out of the sale. Oh,
I just think that speaks a little more loudly to the fact that Libby doesn't pay attention to us. Because how many times have you held up that tote full of car parts in the last couple weeks, and she's just now looked at it?
I know, I saw it, but I thought she poured the bucket into that container.
I don't know. I feel very unheard and unseen, y'all. I just do. This is the story of my life. Wow.
Oh, we're going to get into that. Yes,
we
are, girl.
So at the estate sale that she bought the car parts at, it was in that tote and a basket, and she dumped the basket on top of the tote and bought the whole thing. But we had to have like an extra bag or something because there was so much. It was overflowing. It was a lot.
Yeah. So I'm down to the bottom of the listings. I never in a million years thought I would be selling car parts, but it's happening, y'all. It's here. I'm doing it. I actually had to call Libby and say, you got to make a new category in our eBay store.
Yes.
We needed automotive parts.
Yeah, so fun. Isn't it so much fun to be an everything seller? I don't think I could ever change that and like niche down because it is so fun. And if you see something cool, you can pick it up and you can resell it. And you get to learn new things all the time, new categories, different parts of history. It's so fascinating.
That's what keeps it going and keeps it fun and what makes you want to just keep doing more and more and getting more from consigners. And you never stop learning.
And if you get burnt out on a certain thing, like the person that you bought those car parts from, she was a reseller, owned an estate sale company, and she goes, yeah, I list on eBay too. She listed on lots of platforms. She goes, I just got sick of them. So she put them out there and she can pivot and move on to other stuff because we have so much stuff coming in and out that we can pick what we want.
I love that.
She pivoted and I got excited and put something new out there. So, yeah.
And you've not only been listing it, it's been selling.
Yeah. I got to put a shout out though, because I would have never looked at them had it not been for Homeschool Picker and Samantha.
Those Cadillac ones she got that one
bought,
time.
yes. What was that, like a year and a half ago or so? She bought a thing of Cadillac and whoo, she sold a lot of those. So that's what made me take a double take. And then I just so happened to have our local car part girl, our own car part girl, with me for advice on pricing. So yeah, and to make sure they were authentic and all that good stuff. So
yeah.
But shout out to Kayla that I would have never picked that up had it not been for seeing what she did with those Cadillac pieces.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Very cool.
Yeah. I would have just let it be Samantha's thing, but Samantha never picked them up. So I went, hey.
Yeah, no, I kind of had my time with that. I don't know. I regretted it after we got in the car and started going through them.
So I got to give a big shout out this week to our Patreon and Mastermind members, because I had this, and the people that come list with us on Patreon on Wednesdays had this enormous, dirty toolbox of watch repair parts that I had bought in an auction, just a random assortment of crap, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or so or so it seems. Like
right.
I was at the auction, I was excited about it, I bought it, so there was some appeal there.
Right.
But the thought of this, maybe like 4 months ago, maybe even longer, when I bought it, it had faded, and I was just overwhelmed by this dirty toolbox. It had been sitting behind me by that blue chair for months. You probably saw it in the back of my videos more times than you even care to think about. And I just kept saying, I'm going to do something else. I'm going to do something else. And they walked me through it. They're like, just piece by piece, just unload it, just see what you have. They helped me group the items. And they've helped me make, in the course of a week, about $200. So thank you. Thank you, on something that had just been sitting in my money mountain forever. And I probably never would have touched it. I had considered actually just donating it back to the auction house, because I found it that ridiculously overwhelming. So
all right, I just want to throw another shout out for our Patreon members. I'm going to throw a quote out that fits beautifully right here. Shar, don't judge it, just list it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That, by the way, y'all will be able to be found in our merch store. You can have that on a t-shirt. Don't judge it, just list it. And that right there is case in point. Boom.
Yeah. And now that came out of like a list of Palooza. I think we were all listing together, and somebody was asking questions. Well, I don't know the sell-through rate, and I don't know, but they already had the inventory. And we're like, Shar just gave that best advice. Like, don't judge it. You already have it in your hand. Just list it.
Get it up.
You never know the value it's going to have to another person. It might look like junk to you, but I mean, how many times have we been surprised by that? We have this like oddball, seemingly maybe inexpensive item, and somebody wants it and they're willing to pay for it.
All right.
Brilliant.
I got another thing to tell you on the same line.
Yeah.
All right. So I bought the bucket of car parts. Well, then I was at another yard sale.
Tote.
And I bought
it was definitely a tote.
A bucket of vintage lace and sewing pieces. And I mean, it was the big jumbo bucket, right? I'm still listing these.
Still a tote, guys.
And this past weekend at another yard sale, bought some items. The beautiful thing about buying those mass things, I'm finding, is you find treasures inside that you didn't think were in there.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought the car parts, and then as I'm emptying them out, there's a pocket knife. There's Harley Davidson unused patches with member pins in it. There were things in there that had value that I had no idea. I was emptying out a box from a yard sale this weekend, and there was like a Ziploc with some pieces and parts of stuff. Most of it was just plastic junk, right? But there's these two little porcelain dolls. One's got a broken arm, and I was getting ready to throw it out, and I was like, let me just look this up real quick. And it was not, it was literally just stuffed in, not at all what I paid for, not what I bought, but it was in there. And I just sold that for $18, those two little dolls, one full, one with the broken. They're antique. They're called antique Charlotte dolls. And when I looked them up, I was like, oh my gosh, these things are all the rage. People love these. And
I wanted to ask you about those because I saw them in the store that they sold them. Like, what the heck is this little thing with the broken arm? Because I'm the one that lists like broken dolls that you freak out about. That's my job.
So I was going to throw that one out and only do the real one. But in my comp researching, somebody bought literally the same doll with the break at the same spot. Somebody bought just that. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to put them together real quick, snap, 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 throw them up. And it was like 2 days later, they sold.
Wow. What would have happened if you would have judged that?
Right?
Yeah.
I was going to toss it. So
what's the history? I've never even heard of them or seen them before.
I have to be honest with you. I did not go down the rabbit hole. I was on a mission. It was in the middle of Listapalooza, and I just made the quick decision. Okay, these things sell. It's clearly got some value. And I didn't judge it. I just listed it. So
I'm so
I
proud
know
of
that
you.
they are called antique Charlotte dolls, but I didn't deep dive the history on them.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think we might need to do a whole episode on that and quick listing and how to make it work for you, because it's easy to just go like nuts, but proud of you. That's awesome. And it's hard to do.
Yeah. So I just, I sometimes walk away from the big bundles, but I'm finding more and more recently when I buy the bundles of stuff, there's always added treasures in those buckets, bags, totes.
That right there is a bucket, my friends.
If you are listening on podcast, Samantha just threw up on our YouTube video part of this a picture of a pail.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. I didn't listen to Molly's doll story at all. I was just searching Google for a picture of a bucket that I could download.
Again, I'm feeling very unheard, y'all. Very unheard. So anyway,
I didn't have any extraordinary sales or anything like crazy to, oh my God, look at this banger, this bolo. But I did have some sales that just make me really happy. Like I sell my Lincoln Logs and my game pieces regularly, but I sold a few puzzles, and I have a puzzle addiction. I will buy puzzles for, 50 cents or $1. I'll see them at garage sales, and I'll message people, like in the garage sale post, I'll message people and be like, hey, if you have any puzzles left, I'll pay $1 a piece for them or whatever. And I buy a bunch of puzzles. And so I have a very large stack of puzzles. I've done like 40 something of them so far in 2024. And I'm excited for winter because I get to do them more. And then I'll list them for like $12 to $20 a piece. And when they sell, I'm like, oh, that's 12 more puzzles that I can buy. This is great. My husband hates packaging puzzles because he's like, she's going to get more of them now. This is just feeding her addiction to buying puzzles, because sometimes they sell and that it like justifies it. So
awesome.
I get an extra smirk when I sell those.
Yeah.
Awesome. All
right. So I want to just mention one thing, because I'm going to be giving you guys updates on it in the episodes as we move forward, is that last month, I decided to focus my business on what was making me money and get rid of all the extraneous things I was doing. It's been a rough journey, but it is eBay that makes me the money. So all of my attention until the end of the year is going toward what is making me money and what is working in my business. And so far the results have been, just after like 3 weeks, have been stellar. Yeah, extraordinary.
So you face that fear. For those on podcast, you gotta come over to YouTube for this one. You just gotta. I'm not even gonna explain it to you. It's crazy.
The visual has to be had for sure.
Yeah.
Best thumbnail Libby's ever created. That's all I gotta say.
It's my God. Favorite thing ever. I love it.
I felt like such a goofball. I must have been, I don't know, channeling. I was channeling you, Molly, when I was doing that. I'm like, I'm just gonna make a what out of myself.
I love it. People love it when we make fools of ourselves. They love it. Yeah,
definitely
it's
do.
just a thing.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to start doing the whatever it's called and eating on every episode since people like to watch people eat. I'm just going to start eating on every episode.
Nobody here wants that. Please.
Nobody, please.
Okay, well, if you don't want it, then all you people watching, make sure you stop and that you're subscribed, because I know there's a huge percentage of viewers that don't subscribe, and you need to help girls out and give us a subscribe, give us a thumbs up, comments. Those things help us continue to do what we do and love.
Is this like an ultimatum? Like everybody must subscribe?
Or I'm going to be eating in front of you on video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
And if you're
what's
listening on podcast, you're just going to hear.
That is quite a threat. Quite
Right,
a threat, Molly.
right.
Yes.
So
I'm going to have to turn.
we've lost Samantha's video. She has frozen on us, but we are going to keep rolling because that's what.
All right, I'm gonna do a segue here because we're gonna start talking about Molly and her changes. And the quote you had this morning at Motivation in Minutes in our Patreon group was awesome. So I'm gonna put it up here.
All right.
To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. So let's talk about your business and the changes you've made and why you've made them.
Because go ahead.
I think you should start with your tagline.
You mean mine or consign?
Mine or consign. Either way, we're saving it. Yeah, go ahead.
Or consign. Either way, I'm saving it. Yeah.
All right. So this all happened because, is it okay if I do the segue here, Molly?
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
You boo.
So we do our weekly masterminds, we do all the things, and Molly would week after week be like, I love to source, but I can't source. I love to source, guys. It makes me so happy. And we're like, don't source. You have enough stuff. You have a storage unit. Don't source. And finally, and meanwhile, we're coaching and we're masterminding with all of our Patreon members. They're changing their businesses or narrowing their focus. And like, this is what I love. I'm really going to make this happen and, capitalize on the things that make me happy. And, years, right? It was probably like 2 years. We've been doing this for everyone else. And Molly's just over there going, I like to source. I really don't like to list that much. I like
every time I'd say it, I'd get Samantha's face up in the screen. No sourcing. Oh my God.
Are you sourcing?
Y'all, this is brilliant. I can't believe she froze that way. That was hilarious.
Oh
All right,
my God.
coming back to us. Oh my gosh. Hilarious.
This is great. So what prompted? And all of a sudden one day, Molly was saying, oh, I know what it was. You fell off the wagon.
Yes, I did. I fell off the wagon.
She went outsourcing. She forgot about her goals of no sourcing. It was like a free-for-all. And she was like, guys, this just made me so happy. And she was like glowing. And Samantha and I were like, darn it, Molly, you set the goal for yourself. Why are you? And then we were like, oh, wait, you know what? Maybe she needs to rethink her business and lean into the things that make you happy, like sourcing. So tell us a little bit about where we went from there.
So they say this, and I'm like, oh, girlies, do you hear me? I was getting the whole, singing with Barbara Streisand. Papa, do you hear me? I was finally feeling heard and seen, y'all. My girls were hearing me and seeing me. So yes, business change. So one of the things that we've been doing with consignment chats, which has also been a business change with this part of our business life, is that Samantha and I, and sometimes Libby, are adding more videos of us going out and sourcing items to sell, because that is probably 90% of my business. My business model has always been that, right? So what I decided to do with support from my ladies is to change my business and go sourcing on the weekends, video that, and then determine, am I going to keep it and list it, or am I going to consign it and have somebody else list it? When you're a shopaholic like I am, and you see these beautiful things and you don't want them to go to the landfill, you don't want them to get thrown away, you got to take them home with you, but you don't always want to list it. Mm-hmm. Just like we were just talking about the car parts. That girl was tired of him. I am finding it uber fun right now to list them. So what do I do with these items if I don't want to actually list them? I consign them. I'm using the Thrifty app, and I am hooking up with other sellers, and Thrifty is sending me these poly mailers pre-labeled to whoever the manager is going to be that's going to sell my items. I'm just putting those items in that bag. I'm taping it up and putting it in the mail, and they list and sell it for me. Now, if I did it myself, could I make more money? Yes. But I got enough stuff that I want to sell, that I want to photograph, that I found I can do both. So this is my new business model. This is what I'm starting to do. And so I'm playing a little bit of catch up. I'm going to be honest with y'all right now because we have a backload of video I'm trying to catch up with. But my goal in the next month or two is to have it all very timely. So I do my sourcing that weekend. You're going to get the sourcing video with the mine or consign within 24 hours. It's going to be out there, and we're going to follow my journey and how this is going to pan out, because I want to track it and make sure that this, now, yes, does this business plan, this new business plan make me happy? Heck yeah, it does. Heck yeah, it does.
It makes me happy. You cleaned out your storage unit. I am so like 3 times a day. I'm like, Molly, you cleaned out your storage unit. This is awesome.
Yeah. So we did a mine and consign video in the storage unit, and we're able to clear it out and get everything else here. And that's the stuff I'm listing, and sent 6 bags off to other managers to consign for me. So what I'm going to do along this trip is track my money spent, and then track what I get back from Thrifty. And we'll see if this is a profitable way to run my business. So far, I can't imagine that it's not. Now, it would be different, y'all. I think you have to think about this in your business, because sourcing a yard sale or a bins or something like that, you're getting lower cost for those items. So when I go on my workations to places like Fifi's and do my sourcing there, I'm probably less likely, unless it's a high-end beauty, to consign a lot of that, because I'm putting more of my money at risk to get those items. So there's going to be a constant thought process in that. That thought process is going to be what I'm putting in for the item. It's also going to be making sure that I am sending off quality items for those managers. I don't want to get a whole bunch of junk and send it to them, because number one, I don't want anybody to do that to me. And number two, what a waste of money and time for all of us if I send them, brands that just don't resell, junk. I'm not going to do that. I'm sourcing quality items across the board. But I got to put a lot of thought into this minor consign thing each time.
Yeah, and I think we need to talk about the fact of what you're going to use to track it.
My reseller genie? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
Oh my gosh.
I know Libby can do the hearts. I got to get mine set up.
I don't have a Mac, and apparently that's a Mac thing. So I'll just imagine there's hearts.
So yes, we learned that from being on Nashville Flippers show. They taught us that you can do these little fun things in your videos that pop up when you do hand gestures.
Libby, who was like, Molly and I were like, we got to figure this out. And Libby was like, now don't use them all the time and distract everybody. And now she's the only one that's got them.
And she's up here doing all kinds of hand gestures, making stuff happen on the screen.
She did it appropriately until we started talking about it. So she's doing well. But I think this is a backwards world. Stop it.
Oh, wait, it's not working now.
Oh, okay. It's not working. There you go, firework queen.
All right.
Anyway, so in doing this, I have a lot of changes that are happening in my business, but I am uber excited that I cleared my storage unit. I'm no longer paying that monthly bill. It was the right thing to do for the period of time I needed to do it, because it allowed me to get it out of my house so that I could narrow my focus and quit being overwhelmed by the mass and bring it in bucket by bucket versus all of it everywhere. So I'm glad I made that decision. And then I'm glad that I stuck with using it only for a short amount of time so that I can now regroup and change all that. The other thing I'm doing is I'm listing a lot faster.
Girl, you listen a lot in general. Like you're listing a lot faster. There's like 3 separate statements in that sentence.
Oh,
you're
yeah.
listing, it's a lot, and you're doing it pretty quick. Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. You want to know how? You want to know what I'm doing?
It probably has to do with buckets, right?
It may have to do with a bucket. No. At the end, it all has to do with buckets, but in the beginning, no. No, it doesn't. I have always complained to Libby. You know, we get all these new awesome, now I'm not downing them, awesome platforms that are developed to help resellers do more and cross post faster and list faster and take your backgrounds out and do the thises and the that's and the track your inventory. And it's all phenomenal. Don't get me wrong. There's so much value in these. But I kept saying, I miss the days when I could just pick up my phone and list an item on eBay. I could get so many things done so fast from my phone. But our whole thing had changed over the last couple of years. And it was, you got to put it here, and then it's got to move here, and then it's got to go here, and then it's going to get shot out over here, right? I am back to using my phone. I have finally found a way to backtrack my items, and it is making the process so much more fun. It is so much easier. I just grab my phone, I snap the pictures, I take the background out, I do a little eBay comp, I sell item like, and boom, I get it. And then I just back it through the system into Consign Cloud, Shopify Consign Cloud. And here's the beauty. If something happens during the day, and we all know in our lives, things happen that stop you from what your focus is. And I say I get 10 items done on my phone, but I don't get the backwards process into our inventory tracking system. It's okay, because guess what? It's live on eBay. It's there. It's not sitting in a closet where nobody can see it. It is out to the world. And if it sells in that time, I just copy paste and put it right in our inventory system.
Especially now that Samantha did that tutorial with Consign Cloud about how to add an item at the checkout. Thank you, Samantha.
Yes, you need to put that in the comments below so people can see that, because that was a game changer for my process. So that means it doesn't even, if I don't even get that process done, it's okay, because Samantha taught me a new way to use Consign Cloud.
I just love that you guys trust me. Like, I'm just like, give me your mouse. And I literally went in and started changing settings in their store.
And this is exactly what she did. And I'm just sitting there going, and I'm thinking, you know what? This is not really just my store. Like, Libby's the one that pays this bill, and we're just changing it up on her right here.
Called Libby later on, and I'm like, well, you gotta let her know that I changed a setting. In
She's
her
like, I was wondering what that was. Like,
I'm going to revoke admin privileges. That's it. No, it was an awesome change. It was an awesome change, and something I wanted to do, but I just never took the, 5-10 minutes to figure it out and do it. So thanks, Samantha.
Well, Samantha literally,
it's a 3-minute video. It took me 2 hours to edit, because I record and edit, because I've never edited a video in my life. So it's 3 minutes and 41 seconds. And I now am a real YouTuber. I learned how to edit a video.
So all you guys need to make sure you go down in the comment, you go down in the whatchamacallit, what's that thing called? The show notes. And watch that video for her, and please give her some positive feedback, because she kicked rear end on it. It looks great. You did an awesome, awesome job. And now everybody else can benefit from the little trick that you elbowed me out of my desk chair to take control and do. You all can do it now too, and save the bruise on your shoulder. You're going to be good.
I love it. I didn't realize that was your first. I should have realized, but it was your first edited video. That's awesome.
Yeah, like Molly showed me how to take clips, and like she gave me a crash course while I was there, which was, I never would have understood any of that if we weren't like literally next to each other on our computers. So she like showed me how to take clips and do certain things, and I watched her edit. But the other day when I made that video, it was the first time I had recorded and added things and like really did the whole beginning to end published. Boom.
You rocked it out, girlfriend.
Oh, you're going to be dangerous now.
All 3 minutes and 41 seconds.
You did awesome. We're proud of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I love my new process. I'm still got some things to tweak and change along the way, but I am loving that I'm back to the old school way and I'm getting things done quick. I mean, the other day was so busy editing and working on our next edition of our coloring book that I never got anything listed. Nick and I were on the couch watching sports. We're about to like say bedtime. I was like, oh, I really didn't list anything today. And there was a small ant money hill of items on the chair. And Nick was like, well, you want to list those? And I'm like, yeah, I'll throw them up real quick. And I did.
Wow.
And I got all 5 of them done. Boom, boom, boom. Over. Done.
That's a weird one.
Just like that. Just like that.
I love it. I love it. Also, you mentioned the coloring book, guys. We have a reselling coloring book out already. It is awesome. It has different sourcing pages and inspirational quotes, and it's super fun. And Molly is working on another one that we got a preview of this morning. Oh my God.
Y'all.
And it's a portion of it is going to go to charity. We had sponsors for it's big. It's a big one.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Shout out Fearless Living Fund. That's where the proceeds are going. Diane Lasson's Fearless Living Fund.
Yes, we are so excited. And they're going to have a page in it too. And we are so excited and so thankful for all the sponsors that hopped in on it. It's been fun designing their pages. It's been a labor of love, and I cannot wait to finalize it and get it published and out there to everybody because it's going to be pretty dang special.
So by the time this video airs, it may be in the show notes right now.
You never know. You never know.
And if it's not, be sure to like and subscribe so that you can see it in the next ones.
Because
I'm sure there'll be a big announcement, right?
I'm sure there'll be a huge announcement. Huge. So that's been a lot of fun. And you know why I like doing these is because we have our mental health, reseller mental health series, which we need to schedule. We have a couple other people to schedule out on that. Mm-hmm. But we have to take time for ourselves. And designing this coloring book, to me, it was fun. It was great. But my big thing is it's such a great way to relax, to unwind, and just color.
Yeah, agreed. I have a hard time making myself relax, but coloring is that's for me.
Yay!
Thank you, Molly. All right. So there are two, I want to circle back to your business change because there are two like incredible things about this that anybody can take away. Number one, there are a million different types of reselling you can do. Figure out what you love and lean into that. And if you need, help figuring that out, that's what we do. Mm-hmm. We're a little late to the game to do it for each other, but we've done it for a lot of people and, help them walk through and navigate that journey. And this is your business. You need to make it something you love. You need to make it sustainable. If you love it, it's going to be sustainable and it's going to be awesome. So that's number one takeaway is that if you haven't done that, do it. Lean into what you love. Find some people that can help you along your journey. If it's not us, that's fine. But find some people that are maybe doing something similar or have walked the walk and changed their business. Mm-hmm. Number two is that Molly and I didn't realize until actually we were talking about it, are on very similar journeys here with focusing and going back to basics, going back to what works, right? Like I'm doing it with my business and focusing in on eBay because I know that works and I know that is most profitable for me. And Molly is going back to listing on eBay and simplifying her process and getting rid of a lot of the extraneous things that were holding you back.
Yeah.
So, but I don't want anybody to worry. I am still a scattered hot mess and continue to be all over the place. So I'm here for you as well.
You know what? We've always said between the three of us, we've got something for everybody. We really do.
It takes all three of us to make a whole person, really.
It really does. It really does.
I agree.
Yep. For sure. I like your two takeaways, Libby, and I agree. And we talk about this often with people in our Patreon. And the quote you shared is staying true to who you are. There are so many people out there with great business advice. And listen, there's some amazing resellers out there that have been out there for years. And everybody, you've got something to learn from everyone. But just remember, don't go overboard, and make sure that what you're hearing fits who you are.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I listen to somebody, I'm like, oh my gosh, that is fantastic for them. I am so glad they figured that out. I bet that makes their life much easier. That doesn't work in my process, but how cool is that they figured that out? So,
well, and we use the same consignment software. We use the same, like we're on the same platforms. We all do it differently. We're all even just between the three of us, not to mention the whole reselling community. I mean, it's great to learn from each other and try different things and do that, but you got to find what works for you. I think there's a third takeaway from this. Because Molly is gonna she's gonna one up us in the consignment chats category, because she is now doing both sides. Like, she's gonna have more insight from being a consigner as well. And that side of it, she's doing more of the sourcing herself, sending things to people. So she's got both sides of it here. And there's already been some situations and things that have happened where it's like, okay, we're learning about both sides of it and really broadening our consignment knowledge even more.
I just took a step above them, y'all.
Well,
just
maybe
we don't put anybody on pedestals at consignment.
Samantha, think before you speak, girl.
I'm gonna chuck it in the bucket. Chuck it in the bucket.
We don't put anybody on pedestals, not even ourselves. That's why we always
maybe in a bucket.
Maybe in a bucket, but not on a pedestal. Don't flip that bucket over and stand on it. That's not going to work.
No, we only do that with soap boxes.
Right.
If you are in our Patreon and you just heard me say chuck it in a bucket, I hope you are laughing your booty off. And if you don't understand why they should be laughing their booty off, then you need to go to our Patreon, because we are hilarious and a little uncensored over there. So
we got to keep it clean on the YouTube and podcast. We got to keep it clean.
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, this has been fun talking all about me. I have loved every minute of kind of having the spotlight shine on me today. I'm going to walk a little taller as I go downstairs to work on the coloring book so I can get that finished, because we just might have told people there might be a link on this. So yeah, look below and see if that link to get your Reseller coloring book volume 2. Volume 2. So I got work to do, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but
well, I do want to say one thing. Sorry, Molly. It has been so cool to watch you go through this process and to go through it with you and see how excited you are about your business. Because let's be honest, last year, 6 months ago, you were not excited about your business.
I wasn't. I really wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
And now you're just like, this is great. This is what I love. And it's amazing to see. Yeah.
I was waiting for you to be like, it's been fun to watch you on this journey, because 6 months ago you weren't fun. Like, I was like, where is this going?
Yeah.
You're always fun, Molly.
I'm always fun. Even if my business wasn't giving me the fun kick that I wanted, I still was having fun in other ways. But it's nice. I mean, you always hear it. You hear it on Oprah. You hear it on all the talk shows. Like, if you do what you love, it's not going to feel like work. And it was feeling like work for a while. And it was like, oh, I got to do this and I got to do that. And that's gone now. It's not. It's like I get up and I'm like, all right, what am I working on today? You know,
which is hilarious totally, because you're working more now than you were before.
I've added more to my plate.
In both businesses,
right? Yeah. I've added more to my plate, but it's the kind of plate with the food I like to eat. It's not the food my parents are forcing on me.
She went by parents. Does she mean us, Samantha?
Right? I'm not trying to feed the dog the stuff I don't like under the table. This is all stuff I love. So I really want you all to do what you love. And like we said before, find somebody that can help you with that. If it's not us, again, Samantha and I said, we don't understand why it wouldn't be us. Like, that just makes zero sense.
They clearly haven't met us. We're pretty great, but that's fine.
But you find somebody you click with. I only ask that you do your research. We've done episodes on that before. Know who you're getting your advice from. Look at their stores, do your vetting of who they are, and make sure they're a personality a personality connection there between the two of you. And make sure that they're not trying to get you to do everything they do, that they're open to you doing what you do.
Absolutely.
That's important.
Absolutely.
Very important.
Agreed.
Very important. All right, ladies.
It's very
Until next time, we're going to end on that. Samantha, get your cup or your what's she coming up with this time?
I have no idea what's going to happen right now.
She's looking.
I don't know. Cheers.
Cheers.
It's empty.
She reset to 0.
It's sad.
She reset her cup to 0.
Thank you for joining Libby, Molly, and Samantha, the ladies of Consignment Chats, as we build a resourceful community of collaborative resellers. This podcast is sponsored by ListPerfectly. To join our free private communities on Facebook and Patreon, and for all things Consignment Chats, visit us at consignmentchats.com.